We've reached the end of the Torrevieja Odyssey. Hi, my name is Jake. Welcome to Jake's Beer Roulette, and it's welcome back to Karlsquell. Of course it is. I've 3 of their beers to try left. 3 other types. It's amazing the range they've got of this stuff in the Aldi. So I'm going to do all 3 in one bid. I'm going to stitch them together. But I'm going to give you my thoughts on Torrevieja as I go along. It's certainly not the most aesthetically pleasing of cities or towns in terms of the way the town looks, but what it lacks in that, it more than makes up for in the fact that it's authentically Spanish as a place. It's not like Benidorm, it's not like, you know, areas of Mallorca, the resorts. It's not a resort, it's a working city. The seafront is fantastic. The beach and the whole of the promenade and the walk along there is just stunning. It's beautiful, and that's what really has got going. This place has got going for it. What it's also got going for it is it's got an Aldi with very, very cheap beer in it. This is the Karlsquell 100% malt, so we'd expect a malty beer. Nice and hazy in the glass, is it? Oh no, that's just me being stupid. That's condensation. Clean as a whistle. But like the others, looks lovely. Smells divine. Let's dive in. Here's to good health. Okay. Out of all of the ones, and this has been a love-in for this beer this week, out of all of them that I've tried, this is bottom of the pile. It's not bad, it's just average. By comparison to the others, this one is quite average, and it tastes a little bit astringent and tinny in the back end. It's 100% malt, but it doesn't taste like, say, the 100% malt Tuborg or Efes that you can get. They pack a bigger punch than this. This is 4.9%, and I expected, the thing is, I've been spoiled this week, haven't I? However, so if this is a 5 out of 10, let's find out what the next one is. Next up, Karlsquell Tostada, which won't surprise you when I say that it's toasted. Toasted malt. So usually these are dark lagers. This is 5.9%, so it's quite powerful for a toasted malt lager. It is a bit darker. It's not as dark as I was expecting. Oh no, here we go. No, it's still not as dark as I was expecting. It's kind of like come out a really lovely cherry colour, isn't it? Look at that. Wow. The other thing to say about Torrevieja, whilst I'm at it, is it's the most authentically Spanish place I've been. And by that I mean, I've been to Spain lots of times. Lots of touristy places. Canaries, I've been to Lloret de Mar, I've been to Mallorca, I've been to Menorca. I've been to Benalmádena, I've been, you know, to Alicante, Benidorm, but this Torrevieja is the most authentically Spanish place I've been. The people who run the shops and the bars, Spanish. I haven't seen a single British person working a bar yet. There is one Irish pub that I walked past, but didn't go in there. So it doesn't seem to have been kind of diluted by the tourist industry quite as much as other places, although it's under a deal of reconstruction here at the moment, so that may change, but definitely I like the fact that it hasn't got the pissed up British thing going on. Anyway, toasted. and that is, it is clear, but it's definitely darker. And it does smell toasted. It smells a little bit oaky, a little bit smoky. Sorry for the pathetic rhyme, it was unintentional. Here's your good health. That's nice. That is a little bit toasted. Lovely bit of finish, but it is quite creamy, which comes across, I think, in the appearance. It's certainly back on form after the malted one that I just had. That's, yeah, bang back on form. Maybe an 8 out of 10, that. The thing is, as I've harped on about, this beer is so cheap. Why would you drink anything else if you were drinking at home? It's exceptionally good quality for the price that you're paying. And this one, yeah, that's really good. That is in the top 3 of them, with the Classica and his Special. I think those were the 2 I really liked. So yes, the next one is a heavy hitter. And finally, we have Karlsquell Extra Malt, which is 6.8%. So we're going out with a bang. Last beer of the holiday. Torrevieja. Would I come here again? Most definitely. The downsides. Like I said, it's not the most aesthetically pleasing. We've been staying in kind of like a residential area through booking.com. It's only like a 10-15 minute walk to the beach. And we've got everything close by. It does smell a bit. The reason why it smells is there's a salt mine just as the crow flies, maybe about 2 miles, and if the breeze turns around you get the sulphur smell, so the place smells a bit farty. We didn't know what it was when we first arrived, so oh my god, there's a problem with the sewers, but no, not at all. It's down to that. I can't think of another downside. It's a really friendly place. It reminds me of Portugal because there's not the sales pitch all the time. Everyone's very relaxed. You know, you go to other resorts and they're just basically trying to get as much money out of you as possible, whereas this place is not doing that. It's, like I said, it does now feel like I've been to a proper part of Spain. And with that, speaking of things that aren't trying to get as much money out of you as possible, Aldi with Karlsquell is definitely not, as you certainly have found out, and I have found out this week. So they're extra malt. Smells similar to the toasted malt one, actually. But yeah, it is malty, as you'd expect it to be. Here's to your good health. Doesn't pack the punch that I was hoping for, but has hints of caramel, toffee, and oh, there it is. There is a nice, like, boozy tang off that. Especially in this heat, I can feel the heat of the booze. But yeah, glorious. Absolutely glorious. Apart from last night when I went out for a few pints to watch the football, these are the only drinks that I've had this week, the ones that you've seen me put up on video. Oh, I had a pint when I arrived as well, sorry. So it's not been a week for heavy drinking, far from it. Couple of these of an evening just around about tea time has been perfect. So if you are in Spain, you are at an Aldi, you cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong. I cannot praise this highly enough. I mean, the whole reason why I do this is to find surprises, and especially the unexpected. Well, surprises are unexpected, what a stupid thing to say. In unexpected places, and particularly when you get a bargain. And I mean, this is the best bargain by a mile, by a country mile, that I've ever had, this beer range in Spain from Aldi. I cannot wait to come back. I'll be back as soon as I can. Here's your good health, and if you've stuck with it this long, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for the comments. I noticed we're up above 100, well above 100 subscribers, which is all I ever wanted for this. I can't thank you enough for taking the time. So here's to you. Cheers.